Hey there! I'm so glad you're here. You know that feeling when you walk into your house, and it's not a mess, but it just feels heavy, like there's always something out of place. And no matter how much you tidy, it never really feels done. I used to think I just needed better systems, but what I really needed was less. Today, I'm sharing 11 things you can declutter right now to make your home feel lighter and your day a little easier. And the first one, it's sitting right in your living room, and it might be the reason your space never feels clear. Number one, the entryway that greets you with chaos. Your entryway is the first thing you see when you walk in, and sometimes it's already yelling at you. Shoes everywhere, a stack of unopened mail, random bags, a coat that no one's worn in 2 weeks but still hangs on the chair. For a long time, I thought this area had to be messy. Everyone comes and goes, things get dropped. That's just life, right? But then I added one small basket for keys and sunglasses, a hook for my bag, a tray for incoming mail. That's it. It didn't make my life perfect, but it did change the way I entered my home. It felt more like stepping into a space that welcomed me, not one that needed something from me. And honestly, that small shift made every other part of decluttering feel more possible. And by the way, tomorrow's video is one you won't want to miss. It's called Don't Ever Throw These Useful Things Away, and trust me, some of them are probably in your home right now. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Number two, old fitness gadgets that just sit there. You know that drawer, or maybe it's the space under your bed, where all those fitness gadgets went to disappear. For me, it was a thigh toner I bought after seeing a Facebook ad at 11 p.m. It sat under my couch for 2 years. I also had a foam roller, a jump rope I never used, and a yoga block I wasn't even sure how to use. We hold on to them thinking, maybe I'll start again soon. But let's be honest, if it's been over a year and you haven't touched it, it's not inspiring you. It's just taking up space and quietly whispering, you're not doing enough. Here's what helped. I chose one thing that felt easy to reach for. For me, it was a yoga mat I could leave rolled up by the side of the bed. Everything else, I let it go without guilt. And if you're ever unsure what's safe to toss and what's actually worth keeping, I made a whole video on that too. It's a helpful one to watch alongside this. Now let's move on, because number three might be hiding in your cabinets, only showing up once a year and still taking up prime space. Number three, holiday-only items taking up everyday space. Let's talk about the stuff you only use once a year, but somehow it lives right in the middle of your everyday storage. For me, it was a stack of Christmas mugs. You know, the kind cute little snowmen, glittery lettering limited edition from some winter gift set. I told myself I'd bring them out in December. But you know what I never did? They just sat in my main mug cabinet, crowding out the ones I actually use every morning. Then, there was the Happy New Year banner I kept rolled up with the masking tape still on it, stuffed in the same drawer as the batteries and measuring tape. I finally gathered all those once-a-year things and put them in one bin labeled seasonal. It went on a higher shelf out of my daily way. Suddenly, I could reach for a coffee mug without knocking over Rudolph. That tiny change made my kitchen feel calmer and reminded me that useful space should serve you every day, not just once a year. Now, speaking of clutter that sneaks up on you, let's open that mystery drawer full of tangled wires. Number four, that drawer full of cords you don't understand. We all have one, usually in the kitchen or the hallway, that drawer where cords, random tech parts, and mystery chargers go to retire. I found an old flip phone charger in mine. I haven't had a flip phone since 2011. There were also 3 USB cables that didn't fit anything. I own a pair of tangled earbuds and a remote control I couldn't match to a single device. The worst part. Every time I opened the drawer to grab tape or scissors, I'd get frustrated. Digging through that pile felt like untangling someone else's mess, even though it was my own. Here's what worked. I dumped the entire drawer onto the table. I only kept what I knew I used labeled each cord with a piece of masking tape and recycled the rest. Gone. Now, when I open that drawer, it's calm. It actually feels like a drawer with a purpose again. Up next, let's move from mystery cords to something more emotional, the collections we no longer connect with. Number 5, collections you don't even look at anymore. You know the shelf, the one with the figurines or candles or souvenir mugs maybe from places you don't even remember visiting. I used to collect little ceramic owls. It started with one from a friend and then, well, you know how these things grow. Soon I had over a dozen, but one day I realized I never stopped to look at them. I was just dusting them, moving them around, trying to make space for them instead of space for me. And that's the difference. If a collection brings you joy, truly keep it and display it proudly. But if it's just taking up space out of guilt or habit, you're allowed to let it go. I kept 2 of my favorites, the first one and one from a trip that meant a lot. The rest I gave away, and I felt lighter, like my shelf finally reflected the person I am now, not someone I used to be. Let's move into the next category, and this one hides in plain sight. It's right in the middle of your living room. Number 6, the coffee table catch-all. The coffee table is meant to be a place to set down your tea, put your feet up, maybe rest a book. But in most homes, it becomes a landing zone for everything. Remote controls old magazines, candles mail you meant to sort hair ties coasters from 2018. I even found a screwdriver on mine once. No idea why. It's not that we're lazy, it's just the closest flat surface in the house. So stuff naturally piles up. One thing that helped me was swapping the table for an ottoman with hidden storage. Suddenly, the clutter had a home out of sight but not out of use. Even if you keep your table, just putting a small tray on it can create boundaries, like, this is where the remotes go. Everything else gets cleared. It sounds small, but when you walk into your living room and the surface is clear, your brain sighs in relief. Up next, we're heading into the kitchen because there's one cabinet in there that's been quietly overstuffed for years. Number 7, the cabinet of mismatched food containers. Every kitchen has one, that cabinet you open slowly because you know something might fall out. Mine was packed with plastic containers of all sizes but barely any matching lids. Some lids had no bottoms, some bottoms had melted edges from the microwave, and a few were so stained I couldn't tell if they were clean or just permanently orange. I kept telling myself I'd organize it one day, but I never did. Until I got real about what I actually use 3 or 4 matching sets that stack well and have all their lids. So I pulled everything out, matched what I could, and recycled the rest. The cabinet went from chaos to calm in under 15 minutes. And now I actually want to put leftovers away. Because the container I need is right there, not buried under 8 lidless boxes. Up next, let's talk about something even smaller, but somehow just as stressful, the pile of half-used notepads and pens. Number 8, stationery you'll never use. There's something oddly satisfying about buying new notebooks, pens, and sticky notes, especially the pretty ones. But then, we save them for something special. And in the meantime, our drawers fill up with half-used planners from past years, pens that no longer work, and 3 packs of sticky notes we forgot we had. At one point, I had 7 notebooks, all with just the first 5 pages written in. Why? Because I didn't want to waste the good ones, and the old ones I wasn't using them either. Here's what helped: I kept 2, 1 blank, 1 in use. The rest I recycled or donated, and I stopped buying more just in case. Because let's be honest, if the tools meant to help us feel organized are actually creating more clutter, it's time to let them go. Let's move into something a little more visual, next, the wall decor that no longer speaks to you. Number 9, wall decor that doesn't feel like you anymore. We hang things up because they're pretty, or because someone gave them to us, or because we needed something to fill that blank wall. But over time, some of those pieces stop feeling like us. Maybe your style has changed. Maybe it never really felt right to begin with. I had a framed quote in my hallway that said, "Live, laughy, love." It was a gift, and for years I left it there out of habit. But honestly, every time I walked past it, it didn't lift me. It just existed. One day I took it down. The wall stayed empty for a while. And weirdly, that blank space made me breathe easier. You don't have to redecorate your whole house. But it's okay to release things that don't speak to you anymore, even if they're on display. And now we're heading to a quieter space, but one that can quickly become chaotic, your nightstand. Number 10, the nightstand that stresses you out. Your nightstand should feel like a soft landing, the last thing you see before sleep, and the first thing when you wake up. But mine, it looked like a mini junk drawer. Old receipts, expired lip balm, a book. I felt guilty for not finishing 3 hair ties, a pen that didn't work, and for some reason, 2 pairs of earbuds. And every night, instead of feeling calm, I'd glance over and feel cluttered. It was like the mess had crept into my rest, so I emptied it out completely. I kept only what I actually used at night: a lamp, a small notebook, a lip balm I like, and a little tray for my ring. Now it feels like a reset, not another task. Next, we're going digital to the clutter you can't see but absolutely feel. Number 11, digital clutter you forgot to notice. Not all clutter sits on shelves. Some of it lives in your phone, quietly piling up in your back pocket. For me, it was screenshots, hundreds of them, recipes. I never tried outfits. I never bought quotes I meant to come back to. Then there were the apps I hadn't opened in months, notification bubbles I just stopped seeing, and a photo gallery full of accidental duplicates. It didn't take up physical space, but it absolutely took up mental space. So one Sunday morning, I sat with a cup of tea and just deleted. I cleared out old downloads, turned off badges I didn't need, and unfollowed accounts that made me feel like I wasn't doing enough. And afterward, my phone didn't just feel lighter, my brain did too. So those were 11 things you can declutter today. No perfection, no pressure, just small shifts that make your space and your mind feel a little lighter. You don't have to tackle them all at once. Honestly, even letting go of one thing on this list can change the way your home feels when you walk through the door. And if any part of this helped you feel just a little more in control, a little more calm, then that's more than enough. I have another video that dives into what you shouldn't declutter, the things that are actually worth keeping. You might find that helpful next. And if this kind of slow, real-life decluttering speaks to you, feel free to like or subscribe. I'll be here sharing more ways to create a space that feels like yours again.